reason I went to America was to see a bear. But I didn't expect to be swapping 2 wheels for 4 legs. Anyway, I'll tell you how it all happened. And at the moment. So, here I am with Jamie, who's promised to show me at least 20 bears today. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Are these
So we're going
walkers?
looking for bears.
Tennessee walkers?
Or without beer in this country.
No.
Every pickup's got a cooler.
I'm back in England. Not that you'd know, of course. So what happened was Gabriel, my nephew, and I were in Wyoming, and we'd spent the day going around Yellowstone Park, which was incredibly beautiful. And then in the evening, we were both sort of really hungover. We were hungover and tired, and we didn't sort of really want to go out. And then I said, go on, let's go out. I said, let's go out because we don't want to, which means it'll probably be really good. You know, sort of that thing that when you're really looking forward to something, it's crap. And when you're dreading it, it's often really, really good. So,
I've been taking videos the whole time.
So I said, we're both dreading it. It's bound to be really good. But as I said, we were both very, very hungover. We were like this. Anyway, we went into Cody and we went to this bar called the Silver Dollar. And there was live music there. So we were sitting outside smoking, listening to the music. And then Gabriel went in to go and get himself a drink. And then I went in to go and get myself a drink. And as I walked into the bar, not that it matters what I was wearing, but I was wearing a little red dress. As I walked into the bar, I suddenly heard, Yahoo! Like this. And I thought, oh, that sounds like cowboys. What are they yahooing at? So I turned round and then saw that they were yahooing at me. And then I thought, oh. And totally ignored them, obviously. Walked up to the bar to go and get myself some whiskey. A huge, great, big, long mirror behind the bar. And I could see them watching me in this mirror. And I was thinking, oh God, that's going to be so intimidating walking past them. So I was sort of like this, you know, thinking, oh no. Anyway. Got my drink, walking out, and then this huge, great, big sort of cowboy put his arm out like that to stop me, and then he said, hey, I can't do the accent, but I'm going to anyway. He said, hey, I'm somebody, whatever it was. What's your name? So I said, oh, I'm Sophia. And then he said, Sophia, do you like mountain men? And I said, I've no idea. I don't know what a mountain man is. And then he pointed at this bloke opposite him and he said, that's a mountain man. And he said, meet Jeremiah Johnson. So I said, hello. And then I said, so what's a mountain man? Anyway, he started telling me, and then one of them said, where are you from? They all talk like this. They don't at all. Where are you from? So I said England, and then we were talking about that, and then the mountain man, Jeremiah Johnson, so daft. I'm so daft sometimes. He said to me, so do you ride? He doesn't talk like that. I keep doing it. And I said, yes, I grew up riding. And he said, do you like horses? And I said, yes. I said, have you got horses? I was being very, very polite. And he said, and they all said, oh, he's got hundreds. So I said, oh, what sort of horses? And he, reeled off these horses that I hadn't ever heard of. And then, and I was being really, really polite and sort of, as I am. And then he said, what do I ride? And then I said, I said, well, I ride Arabs. And then as soon as I said this, I thought, God, that sounds like a really awful thing to say. So he said, anyway, we were all talking for a bit longer, and then this cowboy one said, swap numbers and stuff like this. So I said, and he said, he charges tons for taking people up into the mountains, but he's offering to take you for free. So I thought, So I said, well, I've got my nephew with me. Can he come as well? And he said, sure, your nephew can come. So that was it. So then I went out, was talking to Gabriel, and I said, you'll never believe what's just happened. I've met these cowboys, and they're going to take us into the mountains tomorrow on horses looking for bears. Oh, because the other thing was as well, they said, why are you here from England? So I said, well, we were actually looking for bears. And Jeremiah Johnson said to me, how many bears do you want to see? So I said, well, at least one. And he said, well, I'll show you 20. So I went, oh, okay then. And I was thinking, oh, that's really exciting. I'm going to see 20 bears. So then I told Gabriel, and Gabriel was saying yes. And I was going, it's really exciting, isn't it? Oh. Anyway, then we went back. We got drunk, of course. Then we went back to our hotel room and we were drinking more. And then Gabriel kept making up these funny scenarios, which were funny, but at the time they weren't at all. All these awful things that could happen. And it was funny, but they all involved Gabriel getting murdered and something appalling happening to me. So it was funny, but then I was sort of thinking, yeah. And then I've explained in another video before, I've got PTSD from, well, I just have. So I sort of worry about situations like that occasionally. I don't know why anyone would worry about murder or anything like that, about that sort of thing. So all night long, I kept waking up, having these awful nightmares, all these dreadful things that happened. And it kept happening. Oh, and before as well, I'd messaged this Jeremiah Johnson and said, okay, that would be really, really lovely. What time should we meet you? And all this sort of stuff. So we'd arranged it. And then in the morning I said to Gabriel, I don't want to do it. I'm too scared. And I said, I've just been really worried all night and, you know. And he said, okay, you don't need to go if you don't want to. I mean, obviously. So I said, okay. And then I said, I know what I'll do. I'll Google him and we'll see. So I Googled Jeremiah Johnson horses, and millions of stuff came up. Absolutely pages and pages and pages and pages. So I thought, oh, that's great. So I said to Gabriel, it's fine, he's got a really big reputation. And so he obviously can't afford to lose his reputation. He'll be absolutely safe. Let's go. And then I said the first ones that came up were something like the Church of the Cowboy or the Cowboy Church or something. So anyway, we decided to go. We met him for breakfast. We had this really lovely breakfast and then got into his truck and we were sort of driving up to the mountain for about an hour and a half before we found somewhere to stop and, you know, get the horses out and things. And then on the way there, I said to him, so, are you a religious man? Because of Church of Cowboy. And he said, well, this is my church or something like that, you know, the mountains. And I was thinking, well, what about the Church of the Cowboy? We're having Mad Run today. It's Gabriel. Whose horse is this?
That's great, babe. That's Jeremiah's horse. I think I'm riding Jeff.
Then we did this, I was really nervous. I mean, you can see in these photos, I look really nervous because I was thinking, we're in the middle of nowhere, I have no idea where we are. Are we both going to be murdered or, you know, something else? And And as well, I grew up with horses and I've ridden most of my life, but 5 years ago, about 5 years ago, I had a really awful accident on a horse. And when I was going home after that, I was sort of black and blue all over. And when I was going home, I thought, there's safer things to do than this. So I stopped riding horses then. So the last time was, you know, quite dramatically revolting. We went up through the mountains and I think it was about 4 hours or something like that we were riding. It was quite knackering and very beautiful, but I couldn't really relax and think about how beautiful it was because I was thinking, what's going to happen when we stop? And suddenly you'd be on the side of the mountain with these tiny little dirt tracks into the mountain and they'd sheer drops, and I was thinking, whoa. Jeremiah was going first with this pack horse behind him, and then at one point the pack horse's back left leg just went straight over the ledge, and I thought, whoa. And we got to somewhere and then he said, okay, we'll set up camp here. So when we were setting up camp and he lit a fire and cooked us sausages and corn and beans, I said, oh, Jeremiah something. And then he said, why do you keep calling me Jeremiah? And I said, because your name is Jeremiah Johnson. And he laughed and he said, but who told you that? And I said, but your big friend. And he said, oh no, he was only joking because that's our favourite film with Robert Redford in about a mountain man. And suddenly Gabriel and I looked at each other like this. And I thought, hang on, all morning I've been Googling a film, not a real man. Oh. So then I started, because I was relaxing then and thinking, oh, this is really lovely and he's so lovely and kind and nice and, you know. And then suddenly I was thinking, oh, I've no idea who he is. So I said, what is your name? Anyway, we had lunch and it was very lovely. And then he said to me, would you like to find my... Oh yeah, because before we went on as well, as we were just setting off, he strapped on a pistol and Gabriel and I again just went, looked at each other like this. And he must have seen us looking weird, so he said, oh, for bear protection. So we went, okay. Anyway, he said to me, would you like to fire my pistol? And I was sort of like torn between not wanting this man to be handling his pistol, but at the same time really looking forward to firing a pistol in the mountains. So then I said, oh, okay. So then we walked to this sort of hollow in the mountains, and then he got out his pistol and I was just thinking, give it to me. So I fired the pistol and he took it back, and then I could see Gabriel's face and he was thinking that he was going to turn around. It's not funny. And just go and shoot Gabriel. I'm only telling you this because it's true. I have told Jeremiah Johnson this since, and he just really laughed because it is funny and ridiculous. Then Gabriel shot his pistol and it was all lovely, and then we got on the horses and then we were quicker going back, you know, a few hours or something like this. We were knackered at the end of it. When we got back to where the trucks were, and you know, the truck and the trailer and everything like that, I could totally relax because we were alive. I mean, I was anyway on the way back thinking, this is so beautiful. And it really, really is so beautiful. But when we were back, I said, because he and Gabriel had some beers, and he said, I bought whiskey for you. And I was going, no. I was thinking, I'm going to need to be utterly sober. But then as soon as we got back, I said, where's the whiskey? Anyway, we all had some whiskies and we were chattering away, and then we went back into, he dropped us back in Cody. And then we all went out to drink together later on, and we all got very drunk as well. That it was a theme of this adventure of ours, getting very drunk continually. The next morning he came to say goodbye. Oh, and gave me some elk meat, which was really lovely. Bloody brilliant.
Rained last night down low, up high. Snowed up in the Silvers.
How to eat that? Duke!
I'm just gonna go for a quick
Okay.
So
So this one
is your horse.
looks bigger than 15 hands. I'm feeling very small.
You're long-legged.
Yeah, I'm so small.
No, you're not. You'll love him. He'll take good care of you.
Will he?
Yeah.
Will he see I'm nervous?
Don't feel that.
He will? Will he take advantage of my nervousness?
No. And I'll get you up on him and all that, and I'll show you some things.
Okay.
You know, and
my heart was at perfidia, for I found you the love of my life in somebody else's arms. Your eyes are echoing perfidia. For that will have a promise of love. You're sharing another's child.
with sausages in the background. Oh, that's perfect.
So, here I am with Jamie, who's promised to show me at least 20 bears today. Haven't you?
I kind of promised that, didn't I? We'll find something.
He said, how many bears do you want to see? And I said, at least one. And he said, I'll show you 20. I went, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, tell us about here. It's
Yeah.
so incredibly stunning and beautiful.
We are in the Rocky Mountains, and this is public land we're on. And we rode up with our horses today.
Yeah.
And this is areas we go to for hunting, sheep hunting, elk hunting.
It's my first time eating elk meat given to me by Mountain Man Jamie. Tastes like really good beef. It's really, really tender. And so I'm back. I've got a problem. Sort of seems like the starter motor, but it's not the starter motor. I've taken it apart, rebuilt it, and it's brilliant. It's something else, which I am going to find out.